Hi, welcome to my channel. Magnetism. Magnetic people. What makes a person really magnetic to us? I'm not necessarily just talking about a romantic partner or potential romantic partner. It can be a friend, a family member, anyone. Some people are just simply more magnetic than others. And what is that? What traits do they have? The two main traits, well, the one main trait they have is they have no need for validation. They do not need to be validated in any way. They are enough. They know that they're enough. They don't ever consider that anything's because they're not good enough. That doesn't even come into their psyche that it would be. So if they didn't get a job, for example, they wouldn't think that it's because they weren't good enough in some way or they were inadequate. They would just think there was somebody that was more suited to the job. They wouldn't question it being about them. So that is the main character trait. And with that comes a degree of detachment. So comes a degree of aloofness. Is that a word? Aloofness. Comes a degree of just self-confidence. I don't necessarily mean that they're so confident that they could go and stand out and make a speech in front of thousands of people. That's got nothing to do with magnetism, but they have an air of self-confidence. So their self-esteem is at least adequate, but probably fairly high, and they have a decent self-concept, so they don't question themselves. They probably don't ever stop to think about their self-concept because they don't need to, because it's not anything that it shouldn't be. A magnetic person is not going to be a chaser. So if you were to end a relationship with somebody that you considered magnetic and you did it to provoke them into behaving a certain way or doing a certain thing, they're not going to do it because they don't feel a need to do it. Because they won't look at the end of that relationship and think, oh, what can I do? How can I change in order to make this relationship work or to have another go? Because they will not think there's anything wrong with them. Do you know what I mean? So they will not chase. Yes, they will be really sad, probably, be gutted and think, oh, I'm really gutted that this is over. But they will not go into chase mode and think, what can they do to make things better? They won't necessarily expect you to do anything either. They'll just think, oh, it's the end. I need to move on. I have to move on. Chase mode just won't enter their head. They might be direct and say, well, I don't want this to end. What are we going to do about this or something like that. But if you don't then accept that and go, okay, well, this is what we can do, then that will be the end of it for them. They will not be chasing you, not if they're magnetic. Please bear this in mind, that if somebody's very magnetic to you and you're really into somebody and you feel like they have this magnetism and this draw, you're drawn to them, this is the reason. And if you then go and look at changing a person, there's a lot of that online, isn't there? And you then want to make this person obsessed with you, completely in love with you, madly in love with you, messaging you all of the time, they're not going to be that magnetic person anymore. They are going to be different. And they are probably going to bore you at some point. You are probably going to pull away yourself, because if they come back like that, they're not the same person. You're bringing back a whole different version of someone, and it's not the version that you were hugely attracted to. So I often say to people, can you accept this person the way that they are? If they are a little bit aloof and they don't message you as much as you would like, but the messages you do get are nice and you're having some fun when you see each other, do you need to push it to be any more at the moment? Can you accept it at the moment and think, well, this is what it is at the moment, and do I really want to tie myself up in knots trying to change it? Yeah, I'll put in a simple wish. I quite like a bit more contact, quite like a bit more commitment, but bring it all back to self. It's all about self. And if you then become that person that they are, so you're a little bit more detached, you don't need any validation, then they will naturally be more drawn to you and you'll just meet in the middle. Honestly, it's all about you. It isn't about them at all. And so if you look at I want to be magnetic because I want to bring this person to me, then you're still putting it outside of self. You're still putting the power in somebody else's hands, really, when it's all about you. Everything is in here. It's not out there. And if you put it outside of you, it will feel like it's outside of you and you will be pulling it in. So here is a real life story for you. And this is my mum and dad. And I didn't know this till a few years ago. My mum told me, this was about 6 years ago, she told me, it was about a year before my dad died. And when they'd been going out, so they were married for nearly 50 years before dad died, but they'd been going out a year, and she felt that he wasn't offering the commitment that she wanted. He wasn't being the way, so he was aloof. And she wasn't getting what she wanted from the relationship. So she thought, I'm going to end it. I'm going to stick a rocket up his ass, end it. And he'll come and he'll turn into this person I want because he won't want to lose me, because they had what she considered actually pretty good relationship in most other areas. So she did that. No, he didn't come back. He just accepted it. He was gutted. He said to me, yeah, I was really upset, but well, she ended it, so what am I going to do? So off he went, and he didn't for 1 minute go into chase mode and think, oh, what can I do to change myself to get her back? Because that wasn't what she was attracted to. She was attracted to what he was, and she had lost sight of that. So a few weeks went by, nothing happened that she wanted to happen or expected to happen. She then went back to him and said she'd made a mistake. She was sorry. So she said, basically, in her words, I had to go back with my tail between my legs, she said, because he didn't come after me at all. She said, and I thought, oh, this is really over. So she had to then go back to him, and he just accepted they were then back together. He was just a very accepting person. He had so much illness in his later life, like all cancer, various different cancers, and he just accepted every single one. He never ever fought with anything. He never ever said, I'm fighting this, never. And he would just, I said to Mum once, he treats it like a cold, and he did. And you'd often forget how ill he was sometimes because he just didn't talk about it. And he just said, oh, well, when I talked to him about it, well, yeah, this is the treatment, and I have that and I get better. That's what he thought every single time. That's what happened every single time. Apart from the last time, that is exactly what happened. And it was so many times. It was unbelievable, really, really unbelievable. It just shows what you can do with the right mindset. So, that's a real life example there. So if you decide, look, I don't want to need validation from anyone, because it's crap needing people to validate me and to say how wonderful I am and to tell me that I'm beautiful or that I'm great or that I'm talented. If I need that from other people, there's something lacking within me, because I'm wanting them to feel the hole that I have inside of me when I can feel that myself, and I don't need anyone else to feel it. And if I can feel it myself, and I don't need anybody else to, I'm never going to be chasing anything. So you will become that person, and then you will be naturally magnetic, and then you two will meet in the middle. If it is a relationship thing that you're struggling with, well, you might not be, you might just be here because of the magnetic thing. But let's say you've got a relationship that's a bit out of balance, and you're chasing, and they're kind of responding to that, but then away again, and you're chasing again, and they're responding, and it's going on like that, a bit sort of push and pull. Then know that once you have sorted that out within you, you will then be hugely attractive to them, and they will be more attracted to you, and then you'll meet in the middle, because they will start contacting you more. They will start, at the moment it's probably not that they're not bothered about you or anything like that, they just don't have that draw to keep reaching out to you. But when you are changed and you're energetically, and on an energetic level you are different, then they will be, and they'll respond to that. They'll respond to whatever you are energetically. So if you are those things and you've worked on not needing validation, there's so many ways. I'll link to some videos down below. There's my book, which is For the Love of Me, which is out now. It's all about that, and it's all about how you can do it, because you want to know how, don't you? So it's changing your perspective on things, which is a really simple little trick, and actually you could do that and feel better within a day. Lots of different things that you can do in order to do this, but turn it back to you. Just remember the main point here, that a lot of the reason that people are magnetic is because they are on a level, they are a little bit detached. They aren't clingy, they don't chase. And that all comes from self, it all comes from within. It doesn't come from anything that they're actively doing on the outside in order to become magnetic. So you just look at yourself. What is going on with me at the moment, and why aren't I magnetic? Am I a chaser? Do I feel the need for validation? That's the key point here, actually. If you feel a strong need for validation, then that's your main sticking point. So that's the main thing that you want to look at. Why do I? And you'll be able to go back to your childhood probably and work that out. It generally does come from childhood, or it might be something that happened to you a bit later on in life and it just kick-started that program and it's been running ever since. But there will be something, then you will be able to work it out. And sometimes when you can see what it is and you think, oh, that seems so insignificant. And if you can't work it out, say to yourself, universe, if that's what you call it, whatever this is. I say source, I like source energy. I'm not sure what this is, can you help me out here? And then you'll just get some sort of inspiration, or something will come to you, or just pop into your head, oh, it's because of this or because of that. Honestly, you've only got to ask, and it is given. It really is true. Just ask, whatever you think you're asking, just ask the question if you're not sure. And then you can even ask away. Can you show me the best way for me to deal with this? Because not every way suits everybody, does it? And then again, you'll be given inspiration, you'll see a video, you'll pick up a book, or you'll just feel something, or you'll just feel different. Something will happen, and it will be the way that works for you. Right, that's it. That's all about magnetic people. They're great, aren't they? You too can be magnetic. Thanks for watching. I'm an author. My books are listed below. Like I said, my latest one is out now. It's all about self-concept. I'm a coach. I offer email coaching, Zoom coaching, and that's that, I think. Thanks for watching.